Imagine waking up tomorrow and seeing the world completely differently. Not because your eyes changed, but because your understanding of who Allah is finally clicked. You look at the traffic that made you late and see wisdom instead of frustration. You look at the job you didn't get and see protection instead of rejection. You look at the pain you've been carrying for years and see purpose instead of punishment. Most people know that Allah is the most merciful, the most forgiving, the all-knowing. We've heard these names our entire lives. We recite them in prayer. We mention them in dua. But we don't truly understand them. And because we don't understand them, we panic when life doesn't go our way. We question Allah's plan. We wonder why He's allowing us to suffer. We doubt His wisdom. We feel abandoned. But there is one attribute of Allah, one name, that if you truly understood it, would completely transform the way you see every blessing, every hardship, every closed door, and every unanswered prayer. It's not a name most people talk about. It's not the most popular. But it's the most life-changing. Today, you're going to learn about Al-Lateef, the most subtle, the most gentle, the one whose kindness operates in ways you cannot see. And by the end of this, you'll never look at your life the same way again. Let's begin with the name most Muslims have heard, but never truly pondered. Imagine trying to describe someone who is kind, but not in the way people normally think of kindness. Not loud, not obvious, not dramatic, but deeply, precisely, almost invisibly kind. That's Al-Lateef. The word Lateef in Arabic comes from the root Lateef, which carries multiple layers of meaning that English cannot fully capture in one word. Al-Lateef means the one who is subtle. His actions are so precise, so delicate, that you don't always notice them immediately. The one who is gentle, he treats his creation with tenderness, even when delivering difficult tests. The one who knows the hidden details, nothing escapes his knowledge. He sees what you cannot see. He knows what you do not know. The one who reaches you through invisible means. His mercy arrives in ways you never expected, through doors you didn't even know existed. Scholars said that Al-Lateef is the name that describes how Allah deals with you when you're completely unaware. He's working behind the scenes, rearranging circumstances, protecting you from disasters you'll never know about, guiding you toward outcomes you couldn't have planned yourself. The Quran mentions this name 7 times, and every time it appears, it's in a context that should make you pause and reflect. Let me show you. Vision perceives him not, but he perceives all vision, and he is the subtle, Al-Lateef, the aware. 6:103, you cannot see him with your eyes. But he sees everything about you, your struggles, your pain, your secret tears, your silent prayers. And he responds with a gentleness so precise that sometimes you don't even realize it's him answering. Indeed, my Lord is subtle, Lateef, in what he wills. Indeed, it is he who is the knowing, the wise. 12:100, Yusuf didn't say this when he became the treasurer of Egypt. He said it when he finally understood that every betrayal, every injustice, every year in prison was part of a perfect plan he couldn't see at the time. O my son, indeed if it should be the weight of a mustard seed, and should be within a rock or in the heavens or in the earth, Allah will bring it forth. Indeed, Allah is subtle, Lateef, and aware. 31:16, even the smallest deed, even the tiniest sin, even the most hidden intention, Allah sees it, records it, and deals with it with perfect justice and mercy. This is Al-Lateef, the name that shows you Allah's care is not loud or showy. It's quiet, deep, and operating on a level your mind cannot fully grasp. And once you understand this name, 3 things in your life will completely shift. Imagine you've been praying for something for months. Maybe it's a job, a spouse, a visa, healing from an illness. And the answer keeps being, no. Doors slam shut. Opportunities vanish. People reject you. And you start to think, why is Allah doing this to me? Doesn't He love me? Doesn't He hear me? But when you understand Al-Lateef, you realize something powerful. Rejection is often protection. Allah is not punishing you. He is shielding you from something your limited vision cannot detect. He sees the future. He knows what that job would have done to your faith. He knows who that person truly is behind the mask. He knows what's waiting for you 3 years from now that's better than anything you're chasing today. Let me give you a story that proves this. Imagine you're walking with a wise man through a town. Suddenly, he takes a boat and pokes a hole in it, sinking it. You're horrified. Why would you destroy the boat of poor people who let us use it for free? He says nothing. You keep walking. You see a young boy playing. The man kills him. You're shocked. How could you kill an innocent child? He says nothing. You arrive at a town where people refuse to give you food or shelter. Yet the man stops and rebuilds a wall for them without asking for payment. You're confused. Why are you helping people who refuse to help us? Finally, he explains. The boat belonged to poor fishermen. A tyrant king was seizing every boat in the area. By damaging it, he saved it from being stolen. The boy was going to grow up to become a source of pain and disbelief for his righteous parents. Allah replaced him with a better child. The wall was hiding a treasure that belonged to 2 orphan boys. If it collapsed, the townspeople would have stolen it. Rebuilding it protected their inheritance. This is the story of Musa and Al-Khidr in Surah Al-Kahf. And the lesson is this: what looks like destruction is sometimes salvation. What looks like loss is sometimes gain. What looks like cruelty is sometimes the deepest form of mercy. That's Al-Lateef. Allah didn't explain the boat to the fisherman. He didn't explain the boy's death to the parents in that moment. He just acted. Quietly. Precisely. Protectively. And you're living the same reality right now. The job you didn't get might have destroyed your mental health. The person who rejected you might have broken your heart. The visa that got denied might have saved you from a tragedy. You just don't know it yet. When you understand Al-Lateef, you stop panicking when things go wrong. You start trusting that Allah is doing something behind the scenes that your eyes cannot see. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. You're late for an important meeting. You're frustrated. Angry. You start making dua. Ya Allah, why is this happening to me? Then you arrive at your destination and find out there was a massive accident on the route you normally take. If you had left 5 minutes earlier, you would have been in it. That traffic jam wasn't a delay. It was a rescue. But how many times do you notice this? How many times do you recognize Allah's hand in the tiny, seemingly random details of your day? Most people only see Allah when the miracle is obvious. When they get the job. When they're healed. When the money comes. But Al-Lateef teaches you to see Him in the things that seem like interruptions. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "How wonderful is the affair of the believer, for his affairs are all good. If something good happens to him, he is grateful, and that is good for him. If something bad happens to him, he is patient, and that is good for him." Notice he didn't say, "If something bad happens, Allah will remove it." He said, "He is patient, and that is good for him." Because sometimes the bad thing is actually protecting you, testing you, strengthening you, redirecting you. Let me give you real examples of how Al-Lateef operates in your daily life. You miss your flight, and later you find out the plane had mechanical issues. You lose your job, and 3 months later you find a better one that you would never have applied for if you were still employed. Someone goes to you, and a year later you see who they really are and thank Allah for removing them from your path. You get sick and have to stay home, missing an event where something harmful would have happened. These aren't coincidences. This is Al-Lateef managing the details of your life with a precision your mind cannot calculate. The problem is, you only recognize it in hindsight. But what if you started recognizing it in the moment? What if, instead of complaining when your plan falls apart, you paused and said, "Ya Lateef, I don't understand what you're doing right now, but I trust that you see what I cannot see." That shift in perspective changes everything. You stop resisting Allah's plan. You stop fighting the detours. You start moving with the flow of His decree, knowing that He is gently guiding you towards something better than what you were chasing. Imagine you've been carrying pain for years. Maybe it's the loss of a loved one. Maybe it's betrayal from someone you trusted. Maybe it's a chronic illness, a broken marriage, financial struggle. You've made dua. You've cried in sujud. You've asked Allah again and again, "Why won't you take this away from me?" But the pain remains. And slowly, you start to wonder, does Allah not care? Did He forget about me? Am I being punished? Here's what understanding Al-Lateef teaches you. Allah doesn't always remove your pain. Sometimes, He uses it to shape you into the person you're meant to become. Imagine being thrown into a well by your own brothers, sold as a slave, falsely accused, imprisoned for years, forgotten by the people you helped. At any point, Allah could have stopped it. He could have made the brothers change their minds. He could have prevented the false accusation. He could have freed Yusuf from prison immediately. But He didn't. Why? Because every single hardship was preparing Yusuf for something greater. The well taught him reliance on Allah. Slavery taught him humility. The false accusation taught him patience. Prison taught him wisdom and the interpretation of dreams. And when he finally became the treasurer of Egypt, he looked back and said, "Indeed, my Lord is subtle, Lateef, in what He wills." 12:100. He didn't say, "My Lord is cruel." He didn't say, "My Lord abandoned me." He said, "My Lord was working in ways I couldn't see at the time." That's the key. At the time, you don't understand. But later, you see the wisdom. The Quran says, "Perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you. And Allah knows, while you know not." 2:216. You hate the pain. You hate the waiting. You hate the closed doors. But Allah knows that. This pain is keeping you in sujud when success would have made you forget Him. This delay is protecting you from something that would have destroyed you. This loss is making space for something better that couldn't enter while you were holding on to the wrong thing. When you understand Al-Lateef, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" You start asking, "What is Allah teaching me? What is He protecting me from? What is He preparing me for?" And that shift in question changes everything. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a completely different lens. Every frustration becomes a moment to trust. Every delay becomes a moment to reflect. Every pain becomes a moment to grow. Here's how you live with the name Al-Lateef. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us to say, "Allahumma Lateef, Ya Lateef, Altaf by Lutfika al-Kafi, O Allah, O most subtle, treat me with your hidden kindness." This dua is asking Allah to be gentle with you in ways you cannot see, to protect you through invisible means, to guide you through doors you don't even know exist yet. Say it when you're anxious. Say it when plans fall apart. Say it when you don't understand what's happening. Start journaling moments when something you thought was bad turned out to be good. Write down the times Allah protected you without you realizing it at first. The more you recognize His past kindness, the easier it becomes to trust His current plan. When your plan falls apart, instead of panicking, pause and say, "Ya Lateef, I don't see the wisdom yet, but I trust you are guiding me toward what's best." Surrender doesn't mean you stop trying. It means you stop controlling. You do your part, then you trust Allah with the outcome. If Allah is Al-Lateef with you, then you should reflect that attribute in how you treat others. Be kind when you have the power to be harsh. Be gentle when you have the right to be angry. Forgive when you have the ability to punish. Because one day, you'll need Allah to be Lateef with you too. Imagine standing on the day of judgment. The scales are brought. Your book is opened. You see every moment of your life displayed before you. And suddenly, everything makes sense. The job you lost led you to the career that funded your charity. The person who broke your heart protected you from a marriage that would have destroyed your faith. The illness that weakened your body strengthened your reliance on Allah. The years of waiting positioned you exactly where you needed to be. You see it all clearly now. every closed door, every unanswered prayer, every moment you thought Allah had forgotten you. He was never absent. He was always there, working quietly, gently, precisely, protecting you from what you couldn't see, guiding you toward what you couldn't imagine. And you fall into sajda, not out of obligation, but out of overwhelming gratitude. You finally understand that Allah was Al-Lateef with you all along. But here's the thing, you don't have to wait until the day of judgment to see it. You can start recognizing it now. Today. In this very moment. Imagine tonight, before you sleep, you say, Ya Lateef, I don't know what you're protecting me from. I don't know what you're preparing me for. But I trust that you see what I cannot see. Be gentle with me in ways I cannot perceive. And then you let go. You stop trying to control every outcome. You stop panicking when things don't go your way. You start trusting that the God who created the entire universe is handling the details of your life with more care than you ever could. That's what it means to truly know Al-Lateef. It's not just a name you memorize. It's a lens that changes how you see everything, every hardship, every delay, every loss, every blessing. Because when you know that Allah is Lateef, you stop fearing the future. You stop regretting the past. You start living in a state of calm, knowing that He is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see, guiding you towards something better than anything you could plan yourself. This is Soulful Deen. If this changed the way you see Allah's plan for your life, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because the attribute of Al-Lateef doesn't just change how you see everything. It changes how you trust everything.